it's Miss Brookelyn here, and I'm going to be doing an activity with you today revolving around STEAM. And I don't know if you guys remember or not, but we talked about it in Kids Club and we've talked about it in camp before. So if you don't remember, I have a little graphic here for you guys. And this is STEAM, and I know it's hard for you guys to see because it's backwards, but I'll just read it for you. So the S in STEAM means what? It means science. The T in STEAM means technology. The E means engineering. The A in STEAM means art. And the M in STEAM means mathematics. So today's activity is going to include engineering, and it's going to include art, and it's going to include mathematics. So the activity I'm going to be sharing with you is an apple clock. You're going to be making your own clock. And this is what it looks like. And you'll be able to move these hands to the different numbers. And also, so I'll explain to you what we're going to be doing and how it involves STEAM. So with the engineering, what we're going to do is we're going to tack these together and create this different, just kind of like arrows just moving, and how are they moving? And that's kind of what engineering is, like how does stuff work? So what we're going to do is we're going to tack it. And then A, obviously this is art. We're creating our own clock out of paper plates, construction paper, markers, and then mathematics. We have all these different numbers, and we're going to learn the different time meanings. So noon, quarter past, half past, and quarter till, and we're going to learn what that means. So this is what it's going to look like in the end. So you're going to start with a paper plate. And what you'll need during this activity is a paper plate, construction paper, red paint, a marker. So you're going to start out by painting your paper plate. And you're going to paint it, what color is an apple? Red. So you're just going to paint it real quick. I already painted mine, so mine was dry. So you're going to paint it red all over. And you're going to have to let it dry for probably 15 minutes. So then after it's all dried, you're going to kind of fold it in half like this. And you might need your parents' help with this. But you're going to take a hole punch, and you're going to hole punch the middle of the paper plate. And that's going to give you the hole in the middle. Now it's going to be 2, but we're only going to use 1 hole. So this is what it should look like after that. So next, we're going to add our little extra parts. You're going to first draw a stem. And the stem of an apple is usually brown. So you're just going to draw a little stem piece on construction paper. Here's what mine looks like. And you're going to cut it out. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now you're going to staple it onto your paper plate. And you can use glue if you want or tape, but I'm going to staple. And if you do staple, please ask your parents if they could help you with it because it's a little hard. So you're just going to staple it right onto your paper plate. It's going to look like that. So it's coming together. Next, you're going to make a little leaf, and those are usually green. So I drew my leaf, and you can draw it like this, or whatever shape you want your leaf to be, and then you're going to cut it out. And then you're also going to staple it onto your apple. And you're going to do that right beside the stem, so it looks like it's coming out of the stem. So right now we have an apple, but we're gonna make it into a clock, and that's where the STEAM part comes in. So right now we have completed the art part of STEAM. So next we're gonna make the arrows, and this is kind of like the engineering part where we put it together and we're gonna force it to move, and the arrows are gonna be able to move around the clock just like a normal clock would. But this time we're the engineering, so we're the engineers of the clock. So you're going to take a dark piece of construction paper. I used blue, or you can use black, it doesn't matter. And you're going to create a big arrow and a small arrow. And you're not gonna make them super big, but just big enough so they'll be able to point to the numbers around the clock. So this is what I made. So you see how one arrow is bigger than the other. And if you need your parents' help drawing the arrows, just ask them. So I'm gonna cut mine out right now. And be careful when you cut the arrows because they are a little tricky to cut out. Okay, I have the little one cut out. Now I'm going to work on the big one. Okay, so I cut out the big one. You're going to put your trash aside. And now you're going to hole punch the bottom of the arrows. And if you need your parents' help with them, just ask. And make sure it's not too close to the edge because you don't want the hole to rip. So these are my two arrows. All right, the next part is putting them all together. So now you're going to place the arrows over the hole on the paper plate, and the holes on the arrows want to match up. Then you're going to take your little thumbtack and put it right through both of the holes of the arrow and the paper plate. Then you can turn it over, and you're going to want to spread out the thumbtack so it stays on there. And this is what it should look like. So see how the tack allows us to move the arrows? That's the engineering part. So now we're going to do the mathematics part, and that involves drawing the numbers. So first, we're going to do a little activity where we learn about the quarters of the time. So you're going to just draw two lines down the middle and on the side. So you're going to split the paper plate into 4 sections. So it's going to be split into 4 like this, as you can see. So on this line, which is our first line, our second line actually, we're gonna make a quarter past. And so what you're gonna do, and if you need your parents' help to spell out the letters, just ask them. So it's going to be the words quarter past, and you're just gonna write that anywhere near that line. Okay? See how I wrote mine? And then we're going to go to the next line, and that's going to be half past. Then we're going to go to the next line, and that's going to be quarter till. And then we're going to go to the final line, which is the first line. That's the top one right here. And that is going to be midnight on one side and noon on the other. So you're going to write the word midnight, and the other side you're going to write the word noon. So you should have these labelings at each of the quarters. So when we talk about noon and midnight, that's 12 o'clock. So noon is during the day and midnight is at night. Then we have quarter past, and that's 15 minutes past midnight or noon. Then we have half past, which is 30 minutes past midnight or noon. Then we have a quarter till, and that's 15 minutes until midnight or noon. And a quarter is 25. So when it comes to clocks, you do, the quarters are 25 each percent of this whole clock. So a quarter right now is 15, and a quarter past is 15, a quarter till is 15 as well. So a quarter till midnight would be what? 15. So it would be 15. So it would be 45 at that time. So say it's 9:45. That means it's a quarter till 10. So that's what it looks like right now. Now we're going to draw the numbers. And this is the math part. So at the top, you're going to write 12, 1, 2, and at a quarter past, you're going to write 3. Then you're going to write 4, 5, and at a half past, you're going to write 6. Then you're going to write 7, 8, and at a quarter till, you're going to write 9. Then after that is 10, 11, and you already wrote your 12. So right now your clock should be completed. So let's try a couple. Okay, so on your clock, can you make the time 1:30? I'll make it with you. And the arrows, you want to know the difference between the hours and the minutes. So the big one, the bigger arrow is the hour, and the little one is the minutes. And that's just on mine. Sometimes clocks are changed. Sometimes the little one is the hour, and sometimes the big one is the minutes. But you can always tell which one is the hour and the minutes because the minutes clock, the minutes arrow always is going around. But the hour one stays exactly at that hour while the arrow is moving. So this is 1:30. Now I'm going to do 10:25. There we go, 10:25. And you can practice this with your parents or your friends or just even yourself. If you're having trouble learning time, this is a really easy way that you can practice because it's your own personal clock and you have the power yourself to move the arrows. So that's all I have for you today.